if your in-spin and anti-spin is coming along at least a bit, and you've put some time into having fairly clear poi fu, meaning your hands pass the center of your imaginary circle together, and your hands pass each other quite closely on either side, then you can start putting it all together as in-spin and anti-spin while playing split time opposites flower patterns. Definitely easier to start in spin. There's a really important consideration you can make here, and that's whether both poi pass inside your arms or whether you've only got one poi inside. I do more often only one poi in between my arms. I find it's easier to switch to anti-spin that way, but I recommend exploring both. I'm doing it, as you can see, with one poi outside my arm. And in spin, my arms are going to circle the same direction as the poi. And at first, you can really take your time. Just make sure you got good poi fu. That the hands stay one above the other, they pass the center together, and the hands pass each other quite closely on the outside of the circle, on the sides. As that starts to work, you can start speeding up the pattern, and a great place to get is where you do one in-spin, in-spin, in-spin on each cardinal. So an in-spin at the side, the top and bottom, side, top and bottom. Now the in-spins are nice because it's visually very easy to see whether you've truly got one circle above the other one in the middle, because you can see whether the poi kind of brush noses. It's a lot harder to see whether you've got that if the poi are away. It becomes all the more important to use a mirror. But you'll need both. So a great place to first start is meeting in the middle. Middle, 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 middle. And especially if you can find a way to get a mirror, you can work on the outs. Now, I find it awkward and kind of weird to go out, 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 So what I do is once I've got the cardinals, the in-spins and the cardinals all dialed in, I switch to either in-spins at the side, swoop the side, swoop the side, swoop the side, or put the in-spins at the top and bottom and swoop through the sides. Swoop, swoop, middle, swoop, middle, swoop, middle, swoop, middle, swoop, middle. We can call this pattern vertical in-spins and this pattern horizontal in-spins. Once in-spin is rolling along smoothly and you're beginning to see whether you're hitting the cardinals clearly, you can do anti-spin. I recommend, once again, starting really slow and just noticing whether your hands are one above the other, whether the circles are really meeting up symmetrically in the middle, and whether your hands are passing close to each other on these sides, because a lot of people tend to do this, and it typically doesn't look as nice. I bet what you like seeing is when you get these nice symmetrical flower patterns where you can really see a clover. And that is where the precision of the poi fu is important. So first, slowly, slowly, slowly. Now eventually you speed it up where they pass in the middle. They touch, they're in the center of the circle at the top and bottom. Also at the side, top and bottom, side, and it goes boom, 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 top and bottom, side, top and bottom, side, top and bottom, side, top and bottom, side. Once again, coming back to noticing whether your poi fu is good, because that really helps a lot. And when you've got that, do the inverse, which is where the poi point away on each cardinal. Away, 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 away. And the poi fu will really help. Boom, 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 boom. The in-spin will come quicker than the anti-spin. That's normal. This stuff for almost everybody takes weeks or months to really master. So you're probably doing fine if it seems to be going slow. And for all of this, you can play with one poi being inside the arms on the sides, or both poi being in between the arms on the sides. I find it's having one outside. There's a few things that will come more naturally, especially when we get into switchbacks. So give yourself a month or two to really dial all this in, or even more. Eventually it's all going to flow. But some people really underestimate how much time it takes to get clear poi flowers. So next video, we'll start looking in making weird combinations, combining inspins and antispins, and eventually we'll play with going through switchbacks of patterns all interlocking. Nick Woolsey reporting from Leviathan Studio, which is an amazing place, and you should join us here for next year's Leviathan Poi retreat. These are Podpoi, and do visit Playpoi.com sometimes. I've got a gear section. It's Podpoi inside, Beaver Super Sockets on the outside. I review the gear I like. It gives you a way to save money while supporting me and helping me justify all the time it takes to make these videos. Ha! I said everything, I think.